You weren't waiting for attention. You were waiting for a decision. Not a message, not a conversation, but a moment where uncertainty would end. You believed clarity was approaching, and that belief kept the attachment active. The situation often felt temporary. You interpreted distance as hesitation, not absence. You assumed something unresolved was preventing commitment. The connection felt present but unfinished. The mind prefers incomplete stories with expected resolution. When an outcome seems possible, attention remains engaged. You were not only responding to what was happening, you were anticipating what would eventually happen. Occasional closeness reinforced expectation. A long conversation. Unexpected openness. A moment of emotional availability. These moments suggested direction. They implied progression. Progression creates narrative. If the interaction is moving somewhere, waiting feels purposeful. You were not staying still. You believed you were approaching a conclusion. Ambiguity strengthens this perception. Clear rejection ends anticipation. Clear commitment ends uncertainty. Between them, interpretation fills the gap. Interpretation assigns intention. You inferred meaning from partial signals, not because you imagined them, but because the pattern allowed multiple explanations. And one explanation preserved hope. Hope organizes attention. You monitored behavior for confirmation. Small changes became indicators. Silence became temporary. Delay became circumstance. The expectation was not only emotional, it was logical within the narrative you constructed. Given enough time, you believed consistency would appear. The connection felt too significant to remain undefined. Time investment reinforced certainty. The longer the interaction continued, the more resolution seemed inevitable. Effort implied outcome. Persistence implied eventual clarity, but the pattern itself remained stable. Moments of closeness did not accumulate, they repeated. Each instance felt new, yet structurally similar. Realization often occurs gradually. You begin noticing the cycle instead of the moments. The interaction does not progress, it renews. At this stage, interpretation weakens. You stop asking what it means and start observing what repeats. Expectation shifts from future outcome to present pattern. The attachment was sustained by anticipation. Once anticipation loses reliability, attention releases. Not because feeling disappears, but because prediction ends. You were not waiting for them as much as you were waiting for resolution. When resolution is no longer expected, the waiting loses structure, and the connection changes proportion. If this helped you understand something you hadn't been able to explain, you can subscribe to The Inner Lens and turn on notifications for future episodes.